Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
All right, let's get right into it. We're always told that cortisol is the bad guy, right? The big, bad stress hormone. But what if that's not the whole story? What if cortisol is actually a vital internal clock that's just misunderstood? In this explainer, we're going to break down how to finally understand and fix your body's natural stress rhythm. Does this sound familiar to you? You're dragging all day long, just completely exhausted, but the second your head hits the pillow, your brain decides it's time to run a marathon. That is the classic wired but tired feeling. Or maybe you're just surviving on coffee, battling brain fog for hours. Well, those aren't just random bad days. They're huge signs that your internal clock is seriously out of sync. And the master conductor of that entire clock system? You guessed it, it's cortisol. It is so much more than just a stress hormone. Think of it like the director of your body's orchestra. It's in charge of everything. When you feel energized, when you feel sleepy, how you manage inflammation, your focus. When the rhythm is right, it's a beautiful symphony. But when that rhythm breaks, the whole system just falls apart. So what exactly happens when this beautifully tuned clock goes haywire? This is really where the pressures of modern life start to clash with our ancient biology. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, that's the goal. That's a healthy rhythm. Cortisol is high in the morning. That's what makes you feel awake and ready to go. Then it gently slopes down all day, hitting rock bottom at night so you can get deep, restful sleep. But on the right, that's the broken clock. Cortisol is flatlined in the morning, hello, fatigue and brain fog, and then it spikes at night, leaving you completely wired when you should be winding down. So what's actually breaking this delicate rhythm? Well, the research really points to three main culprits in our modern lives. First, there's just chronic psychological stress, from work, from life, that keeps your stress response system switched on 24/7. Second, our sleep habits. Irregular bedtimes and staring at bright screens late into the night, it totally confuses our internal clock. And third, a high inflammatory load, maybe from our diet, forces the body to pump out even more cortisol to fight it. It's a really vicious cycle. And here's the trap we all fall into. We start chasing the symptoms instead of fixing the source. We slam coffee to fight the morning fatigue, and then we might take something to knock us out at night. But these are just band-aids. They don't do a single thing to fix the actual hormonal pattern. In fact, over time, they can make the problem even worse. So what are we actually trying to do here? The real goal isn't just to feel a little less tired or a little less anxious. It's about fundamentally restoring your body's natural, healthy rhythm from the ground up. And this quote just says it all. The goal is not to artificially prop yourself up with stimulants or knock yourself out with sedatives. The goal is to gently guide your body back to its factory settings, back to a place where energy and calm happen at the right times, all on their own. Okay, so how do we actually pull this off? Let's get practical. Let's open up the toolkit and look at some key, evidence-based supplements that can help us press the reset button on that cortisol clock. Think of this table as our roadmap for today. It lays out 4 key players and tells us exactly what they're good for. We're going to focus on the top 3 in a little more detail. Ashwagandha for that constant high cortisol, magnesium for those annoying nighttime spikes, and phosphatidylserine for those really sharp, intense moments of stress. See, each one has a very specific job to do. Let's start with ashwagandha. It's what's known as an adaptogen, and the name says it all. It helps your body adapt to stress. It's especially good for that long-term, grinding day in and day out stress that keeps your cortisol levels chronically high. It works by directly talking to your body's central stress response system. And the science on this is pretty incredible. We're talking about human clinical trials showing that ashwagandha can lower serum cortisol levels by up to 30%. Now that is a huge measurable difference, the kind of change you can actually feel in your mood, your energy, and your sleep. All right, next up, magnesium. I love how the source material calls this the first-line stress supplement. And for good reason. It is absolutely fundamental for relaxation. You see, chronic stress literally burns through your body's magnesium stores, and being deficient is directly linked to higher cortisol, more anxiety, and terrible sleep. It's a non-negotiable piece of the puzzle. So how does it work its magic? Well, you can think of magnesium as the brake pedal for your nervous system. First, it helps activate your rest and digest mode. It also boosts a calming neurotransmitter in your brain called GABA, and it even helps physically relax your muscles. All of this comes together to help your body naturally lower cortisol at night, which is exactly what you need for amazing sleep. Now let's talk about a real specialist, phosphatidylserine, or PS for short. Think of this one as your tool for acute stress. It's for those moments where you get a really sharp, intense cortisol spike, like during a crazy workout or right before a high-stakes presentation. PS works by basically hitting the brakes on the signal that triggers cortisol, helping your brain and body get out of that high alert state much, much faster. Now, these supplements are incredibly powerful tools, there's no doubt about it, but they are only one half of the equation. If you really want to fix this clock for good, you have to pair them with lifestyle changes that support your rhythm from the outside in.
Let's think about it this way. The supplements work from the inside out. They're fixing the biochemical pathways that have gone haywire. But lifestyle changes, sleep, sunlight, movement, they work from the outside in. They fix the environmental and behavioral triggers that broke your rhythm in the first place. You absolutely need both working together for this to stick. So here is the simple 3-step game plan. Step 1, correct the pattern. Use those targeted supplements we talked about to get your rhythm back on track. Step 2, stabilize the system. This is where you lock in those gains with consistent sleep, getting some morning sun, and eating whole foods. And finally, step 3, build resilience. You strengthen your new healthy system with things like regular exercise and meditation.
And of course, a very quick but super important note on safety. Please be smart about this. While these supplements are generally very safe, you should always talk to your healthcare professional before starting anything new, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions or you're taking other medications.
So let's end right where we started. Your body has this ancient, incredibly wise, natural rhythm. That feeling of being wired but tired, the brain fog, the sleepless nights, that's not a personal failure. That is your body's clock sending you a message, a really important signal. The only question left is, are you listening to it?
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.